on. All right, so we're here with Sess and Matt, and thank you to Sess for reminding me to go live this wonderful morning or evening for you. So another refactoring episode, and we're going to continue with refactoring the what was it called? The HTML. No, this isn't right. I got the wrong clone. It's Cloud9 up. I'll get the right Cloud9 instance up. So yeah, we're going to start finish refactoring Matt's code that he submitted for us to refactor. Thank you, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let me share my screen, and I'll get the right Cloud9. So you should be able to see my screen now. And yeah, let me get rid of this. Yeah, we need that one there. Oh yeah, so GitHub README. So we're taking all the relative links and converting them to absolute links. So we'll finish that refactoring. Need like background music whenever we're waiting to run tests, things to load. All right, so here we go. Looks like this file is not saved for some reason. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember what we're supposed to do now. This is on here. I think I just added some comments. Okay. Yeah, that's right. We were supposed to review this and think of ways to make it better.
Yes.
Did any of you spend time on that?
No.
What about you, Seth?
Sorry, what was that?
So we were supposed to. So I remember. So last week we were going to say like, yeah, let's maybe review this and we can come up with our own ideas for next week to see how we can improve it.
Oh, I didn't do the homework.
Okay, no worries. So I did do some stuff, but I didn't do everything that I wanted to do. I kind of thought about it a little bit that day after the refactoring session, and I came back in here and made some comments. So let me see, what do we got here? So yeah, so this method here, replace relative links with absolute. We pass in, I always forget, project readme content. Okay. Isn't this like already, the content is HTML, right? We're passing HTML through.
I think you've asked me that before, and I think the answer is yes, but I don't want to keep confirming that if it's not true.
Well, it should be well. It would be like maybe like a markdown or so. Well, it seems like it's HTML, right? Because we're calling it HTML.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get a document object back. Yeah, so it is HTML.
Yeah.
But I don't know. For me, I think maybe HTML, replace content with the word HTML would be, because content could be anything, right?
Yeah.
HTML is more precise of what we're actually passing.
Yep.
So maybe I guess that's one suggestion I have. And then we're passing in the project object. All right, so. Okay, so here's what I found out. Or here's what I kind of dawned on me. So href is the key. It's not one of those like magic strings, like or magic numbers that you might see floating around. Like you know what I mean when I say like I think that's what Sam calls them, like magic numbers. I guess like you have a function and you just say, oh, this plus 5. Well, what is 5 representing? We don't know. But here, href in this scenario is actually a key. So when we get our, I had, yeah, so let's see, should pass is a key. We don't need error control, actually. I don't think. Base URI can. All right, so yeah, we'll go through this. So I think, yeah, we don't need to put in a, we don't need to assign this to a variable because href is actually a key. And when we ask an object and we pass in a key, so it's node, right? So yeah, so when we go node, we can say, okay, give us that. We can either, so for Rails, I think it's a Rails thing, not a Ruby thing. But when we pass in a string, it'll pick up the key, whether it's a symbol or a string. It'll find it and pick it up. So we can either pass it in like that, or we could pass it in like that. Either way is it'll work. I tend to like to use a symbol because it looks, I don't know, seems to look prettier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this is actually a key. We don't need to be assigning it to a variable, so we can actually get rid of this line. And wherever we use node, we can just put in like href, or we can pass in the string. It's,
yeah, we tried to get the string, and that definitely worked.
Yeah,
I think it would work as well with a symbol, because I've done that before, but I've never done it with doc object. But I mean, we have tests. We can always try it. So
that's one thing that dawned on me, is that we should just pass it in directly since it's a key. We shouldn't be hiding the fact that it's a key through a variable. And then I just had a.
It doesn't seem like it's any in that much more explanatory to like add tag to it. Like, I think if it's passed in, especially if it's passed in like a symbol like that, people will understand that it's what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's one of, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. If we pass it as a string, people might not pick up right away that it's a key. Although they should, but it took me a while to like kind of realize that it's actually, it's a key. We can just pass in the string. Because keys can be numbers, strings, symbols, right? So we gotta, but yeah, anyway. And then this absolute path, I was reading some documentation and they were using the term base URI. So I think like this would be our base URI. And then whatever we add on to it, that's going to build our absolute path. So I'm thinking maybe a better term for this would be base URI.
Yep, that sounds good. I follow that.
Yep.
What's that, Seth?
I said base URI sounds better.
Okay, awesome. Let's see, what else can we do? So I got a question here. Can we do replace temp with query? Okay, yeah, so this is a query here. So I was just kind of thinking maybe we can do a refactoring thing, just replace a temp with query, which would, that's, you know, if we want to do it that way, we can. If not, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. But it might, I don't know, it might turn out to be, if we do it, you know, who knows, maybe later we might see something that we can improve. But anyways, I think it's kind of trivial at this right now in the process. Okay, so moving on. So we got our 2 methods. We only got 2 private methods associated with this, right? The anchor link. So we'll convert path unless it's an anchor link. And then, oh yeah, so I have a question for you, Matt. What are we checking when we do url.empty? Because if I already tested this out, I'll do it right now. So let's see, let's run the tests. Bundle exec, rspec, spec, where was it? Jobs, and then GitHub, readme. All right, so if we run tests, they should all pass.
Yeah. I think like there's no test case for an empty string, and I don't know if in production there's any. I mean, there's no reason. I don't have any reason to believe that there are any empty strings that it would return.
So, okay.
If that has an href attribute, but the person hasn't filled in a value for the href, but then I guess I'm not sure. You know, that's probably maybe an edge case that we don't need to pass for test for.
Okay, I need to start the database. How do I do that?
It's sudo service PostgreSQL start.
Sudo service.
I think it's the QL at the. I think the service is like that. Yeah.
Or like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
I wish like Cloud9 would I don't know, somehow like when you logged in it would start those services for you. But
I wonder if they have like an initialization. I wonder if they have a I wonder if we could like add an initialization script that it would just automatically run. I don't know if they have anything like that though. It might be worth checking. Because then we could just add that to the script, and every time it starts, it knows to check that script and run everything in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so if I take out this, they're still all going to pass, and you just mentioned that because you don't have any tests for it.
Yeah.
Why don't you have any tests for it?
I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, it was kind of like just wrote the unit tests and to get it in production and didn't think about it.
So this is going to return. So we could. I wonder. Yeah. Sure. All right. I'm just wondering if we actually do need it.
Maybe not. I mean, what you could do is like
because
like an if statement there, like if the URL is empty, like then do something that we can check and then run the rake task.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, what this method is doing, it's asking, do we have an anchor link? But what it's actually doing, well, that's what it says it's doing, is checking if it's anchor link. But what it's actually doing is checking, is there an empty link or an anchor link?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we shortened the name because we didn't want to have an or there.
So,
in the name. But
yeah. So if it's an empty link, then we're not going to do anything. But will that actually screw us up? So if we pass in.
If there's a URL that's empty, because then it will try to parse that, and then it'll ask like if nil is relative, and then it'll error out there.
So you're saying if we run the script URI.parse and pass in an empty string, it'll error out?
Well, actually, I don't know that for a fact.
Find out. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So URI, pass in an empty string. It hands back an object.
Yeah, and if you ask that object if it's relative.
Okay, so u.relative true.
Yeah, so then it'll just return basically like
It'll just
It'll
return
add
the
URI to
base
it,
URI. Okay, yeah.
which I don't know. I mean, that'll take them to the README instead of where they're thinking they would
Yeah.
be going to, but that would be better than
All right.
leaving it an empty string. Because
Yeah.
if it's left an empty string, then what happens when they click on the link?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for now it'd probably be important just to keep this in here, but maybe it would be good. Maybe we can add a ticket.
Well, I mean,
like add a test for this, and then once we get the test added, we could probably figure out a way to make it work.
I mean, I don't know. I was thinking that actually that the way we have it would be I think it would be because if it's an empty string, we're saying like leave it alone. And if it's left alone and the person clicks on it, like what happens if you click on a link that leads to an empty string?
It doesn't do anything. Like usually, like I don't know, when I don't create links that are empty strings. Like usually you'll have like href. I don't know the syntax for HTML. Let's forget.
I think equals and then empty string.
So yeah, you'll have your href, and you're gonna assign what is it? I don't know, href or source, and then you're gonna have. We'll usually put in like a hashtag there, right? So this hasn't been defined yet, and if you click on it, it just doesn't do anything usually.
Yeah, but if that were a hashtag, then it would match the URL. You know that second.
On the right. Exactly. Then it matches that.
But that's okay. I mean, that's the thing is, I don't know if that is actually a use case. Like, it's just if someone like accidentally, I think, forgot, like, just put an empty string, or like they were using like I don't know, Emmet or some sort of like generate, and it generated an href that was like an empty string, and then they like kept working and just forgot about it. But like, I mean,
yeah, I see where you're going with that. I think, I think you're checking for a case that might not actually exist, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, that's that, you know, again, that's like a product of the fact that I like copied and pasted this from Stack Overflow and it was working. So there wasn't any reason to, but like, you know, having a closer look at it, like it I don't know. I mean, I think it would make sense that if the person clicks on it, it would lead to the README of the project. But I don't know. I mean, I think maybe it doesn't exist. It would be interesting. I don't know. I think it might be interesting to try to like run the rake task and see, like, instead of like just removing it, say like if it's empty, like print something. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's something we can probably dive into on another day. So, I mean, we have two options. We could either leave it and forget about it for now, or just delete it. But might be safer just to leave it. Right. So cool. Oh yeah. So URI.parse. So this is another query that we're doing. So we could do like replace template query here. And then also this, if we just again, this is equivalent URI, and then just pass in whatever it is we're parsing. What would be href? So this is actually, I found out, is actually equivalent to that right there. So I think these both return the same object. These both do these both do the same thing. But I just thought I'd share that with you.
Nice.
It might I don't know. I tend to like this one better just because it's shorter, and I don't know, parse always kind of threw me off. What is it parsing? What is it doing? But here this kind of looks like, oh, we're passing this into URI. We might get some sort of URI back. I don't know. But anyways.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is that we're passing in a URI, right? And then we're getting an object back, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So yeah, I mean we could I can go back into IRB here.
But it's not clear that that's what's happening with the parse method, is it?
Yeah, I mean it could be clear to some other person, but for me, where I didn't know I never used the URI library before. I immediately saw parse. I'm like, oh, what are we parsing it for? Because usually when I think of parse, we're going to go through this string. We're passing in a URL string, so we're going to go through this string and try to pull out information from it that we want. But really, what it's doing is just returning an object. But if I go to the parse documentation, so the parse documentation says, I think there is a difference between URI, passing it in directly to URI, and passing it into parse. There's like a very small difference, but I think in our case there is no difference.
Yeah. It still responds to relative or not, and that's the only thing we care about.
Yeah. But yeah, so if we go to URL, and if I just pass in a string there, I mean, it hands me back this URI object, right? And I can call all the methods associated with that URI object. And then let's do URX equals URI dot parse. Same thing, and it hands me back the same thing, a URI HTTP object, and we can call all the same methods with it.
Yeah.
But
nice.
Anyway, I forgot where I was going with that. But let's wrap this up. Let's finish this up. I think so. So yeah, we discussed all the things, all the ideas we have for cleaning this up. So let's clean it up, run the tests, commit it, do a pull request, and get it out of here. And then
done with it.
And get done with it. And then when we reconvene next time, we'll continue with chapter 1. That sounds bad. I'm gonna say page 30.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea that we're still on chapter 1. But I think it's been good. We I feel like I've gotten a lot of exposure to the first 30 pages by going through all this stuff thoroughly.
Yeah, and we skipped around as well.
Yeah, that's right, we did.
Yeah.
All right, so who wants to do this? We can get rid of this href tag equals href. We can get rid of that and just pass it in directly.
I haven't gotten in the C9 yet, so.
Sess, do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, so you deleted that line, you edited line 45, and then we need to do the same thing up till at line 29 and line 33.
Okay.
So I'm just going to delete this here, this comment.
base URI.
Yeah, we're gonna rename those to base URI.
Can I do it now or?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
We're not gonna wait for Matt.
No.
All right, so yeah. Yeah, looks good. Yeah. Okay. Sure, I'm gonna. After you're done with that change, I'm gonna run tests. Make sure we didn't screw anything up. Yeah. Come on, C9, run my tests. No.
What?
No, what do we do?
Come on.
There's let's see. Something about null. I think there's a space there. No, can't be a space before base URI.
Oh, it's about the href.
On line 46, inside the interpolation string, we have a space.
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about? Right here.
Actually, on line 46, I didn't change to href.
I'm sorry, what's that?
On line 46, we not change href to. Didn't we change it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no href tag anymore, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's saying. Undefined local variable method href tag.
Oh, right.
But I think you're right that it would, if that space, it probably wouldn't.
Yeah. So the two things we need to fix. Cool.
My keyboard is misbehaving.
So there's a lot of static when you speak.
Oh, you cannot hear me.
Oh, yeah, that's much better.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that looks.
Okay. My keyboard is misbehaving.
Is that correct? Something looks different.
Yeah.
I wonder what it was before. Let me do a git diff on this. So here, private.
Yeah, I think.
So before.
Oh, she's like that.
What?
Yeah, that looks
Okay.
right.
All right. All right, let's save that. Oh, we got saved. Let's run tests. All right.
Yay.
Sweet. Okay. Are you logged in, Matt?
No, I couldn't find it, and then
Oh,
I don't know.
let me send you the link.
I thought it would be in my history here on.
Do you see the link?
Let me see. Yep, cool.
Okay.
Website one refactoring. I think it's because I have it in Chrome and not in Firefox like the other ones. Okay.
All right. Cool. All right. So, what's next? Okay, we got base URI. We got this. So, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think that's fine, unless you want to do replace temp with query. I don't think it's.
I mean, in this case, I think it's quite common to see like the
Yeah. I don't think it's quite necessary for our refactoring process, because usually when we do replace temp with query, we're trying to make a long method smaller. But this is already pretty compact. We're probably not gonna see anything to save or see anything that we can extract by doing replace temp with query. Oh yeah, that's right. Project README HTML, perfect.
Yeah. Because you can even see, like, I guess, I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, because I think if you look at the test, like, it's clear that I'm passing in HTML from, so.
Yeah, no worries. Naming stuff is one of the hardest things in computer science.
So, it's like two things. That's like running, like naming things and something else.
Yeah, I don't know, something else. Cool. I don't know. That looks good. That looks good. We got our anchor link method. Looks good. And then the convert path.
I think if we were going to do a replace temp with query, this one makes more sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, I want to just what I want to do is actually take this and put it right here, and then get rid of the parse, because we don't need it.
Yep.
And then what that allows us to do is just get rid of that.
Yep. Wow. You can really dry.
And so if we save this,
or we can almost even do that on like one line now instead of three.
I mean, let's see. When we convert path here, we're not really returning anything here, right? So, okay, so what we could do is, there's a couple things. What we could do is take our node, and we can say node href here.
Yeah, right.
Is equal to the return value of this method.
Nice.
And so now what we'll do is we'll just return this base URI plus the URI. Yeah, if that equals that.
I mean, the line 32 is probably a little long, but there's not much. I mean, is there much we can really do about that?
I think it's less than 100 characters.
Is that like the new 80?
It's what's in Rubocop for website 1. I think it's 100. Okay. Yeah, so I think we should be good.
It starts on column 7 and ends on column 82, so it's even less than 80.
Okay.
I mean, it's not less than 80 because it's at 82, but it starts at 7, so
yeah,
it's fine. Yeah. Nice.
So if this all passes, I think we have something we can commit and do a pull request on.
Mm-hmm.
And it failed. So
Did it fail?
we might have tried to change too many things at once.
Expect projects at first. That page should not be nil.
Where's that coming from? What line? Oh, line 46.
There's 4 of them, huh?
Full spec.
Oh, that's the spec. Oh, here's the stack trace.
There you go.
Oh, the dot there, huh? It's there's no. You took off the parse, I think, but didn't remove the dot.
Oh, good catch.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully that. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
I don't know why my brain said, leave the dot, you need it.
It's there's like 6 hours difference between us now, aren't there?
Oh, I don't know. Did you change your clock in Brazil?
Yeah, we went forward because we're going into.
You went forward?
Yeah.
Did we get? We went. I don't know. What did we do? Did we go backward?
Yeah.
Undefined local variable or method URI.
Oh, it's because we did replace temp with query, no?
Oh yeah, but we didn't replace the query, eh?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna back out of this because I can't recall.
It's just like that URI node href.
All right. Well, that's what it looked like before.
Yeah, but I think that would fail as well in the same way because it's talking about on line 45. It has that
right
local variable.
We take everything out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to replace this temp with query. So delete parse. So this is the same thing, and the dot. So where this is, where URI is at, I'm going to replace it. So it's already done there. And then I need to do it here as well.
Yeah. And in that case, it needs to be inside of those, because it's not a.
Yeah, I don't know what that is for.
Yeah, because I know you need to use that for variables, but I'm not sure.
But this is no longer a variable, right?
So I don't think.
But now it's going to be now it's part of the string.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do need it because it is code that we want to interpolate, right?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Okay.
I think so, actually. Yeah, because it's going to turn into
So we do need that. All right. So now we can go ahead and delete that. And now what we're going to do, what we should do is stop, run tests.
Yeah. Go one step at a time.
Yeah.
Then there's less Control Z to do if something goes wrong.
I just hate the waiting, but then it takes longer to figure out what you did wrong, right? If you do more stuff.
Yeah.
Should listen to what the book preaches. I ain't going to listen to no stinking book. See, it's failing. What the? Compared using equal. Let's see, what are we doing here?
Oh, your dot again.
Dot again. Stupid dot.
What? How did it get there? I could, man. I'm gonna have nightmares about a dot now. Hey, Joseph. Sorry, we're just finishing up here.
Yeah, Joseph's wondering where where the Briar chat client. You ready to give class, Joseph?
All right.
Woo.
That's passing. So now we're just going to, yeah, now we should be fine. Put that back up there. Back to there. Boom. Oh yeah, and delete that. And come on. Right, what I'm going to do while this runs, I want to bring up a new window. Oops. Ah. Didn't pass for some reason. There's one failure. Interesting. Expected that, but instead of this, we got all of that, huh? Oh,
So it's returning the entire.
So I see. I see. We can't do this, I guess. Well, I don't know. Why can't we?
It would seem like we should be able to. We can't hear you, Joseph. No, I mean, assuming you're talking right now, we can't hear you. No.
Sorry, Nick. Why are we assigning the node href to?
Because it was being assigned here. So instead of assigning it here, we're going to return it and assign it up there. But
yeah, and it's still going to iterate through one by one.
Oh, yeah, they can hear me now.
Joseph, we can kind of hear you. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Say something. Say something.
Oh, did I say something when I joined? Did you hear me?
No, we didn't. We didn't hear you. I was joking about yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I came in because I'll be having a sync with Nick.
Yeah. Thank you, Joseph. I'm going to get off here in just a minute, and then we can do that.
Oh. Oh, so yeah. Okay.
Huh?
I didn't know you are Nick. Sorry.
Oh.
You're gonna be having a Where's that guy? He's not responsive.
Yeah, so I was like, we need to do this in 30 minutes because I'll be having a sync with Nick in the next 30 minutes or so.
Wow.
All right.
I didn't know he was here.
Go ahead, say something bad about me. I'm not listening. All right, so you got any ideas, Matt? Should we just leave it like this?
I mean, it's not immediately clear to me why it wouldn't work the way that we had it before, but
I think it has something. Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like.
So I think it has something to do with the return value. So when we got, actually, the return value from here is not always. Yeah, I know why it's not working, actually. So let me write this down. So here we're doing this. You return this if this is relative, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to return this string if it's relative. But what happens when it's not relative?
Yeah,
then this doesn't get ran. This gets ran, so it returns this, and then we're assigning that to node. So that's where our problem is.
Yeah.
So we could still do like node. We could still up here on line 32. We could still do like node href assigned to that. But here we would always want to make sure we're returning the correct value.
Yeah.
But we're not always going to be assigning. So here we could say, if this, then return that. Else we're going to just have to return the node href.
Yeah.
But so I think this is fine.
Would it work if you did like just put line 44 at the end of line 45 and get rid of line 46?
We tried that already, right? Oh, you mean put that?
Like, cut that and put it at the end of 45.
Yeah, that should work.
Yeah, I think so, because then it'll keep node ref the same if it's, and then it's like the same. It's same length as the other one was, as line 32 was.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing a block if an and. Yeah, it's 3 lines, but it can actually, it could be it could make it easier to read, right?
Yeah, so, I know. I was doing with them on the Agile Dev Mob. Sam refactored something that I did in in line to be 3 lines because it was easier to read what the if statement was about.
Yeah. So either way you want to go at it, either way is perfectly fine. But what I want to do is kind of just I'm gonna get off here in like 2 minutes, and then after I get off, feel free to like, you should have access to like commit this to wherever and push it up and do the pull request.
Yeah.
And so I'll let you and Sess do that if whoever wants to put their name on the pull request, just have at it.
Actually, it's we did that the other day when you left, and it because it's pushed up from your C9, it's just pushed up as you.
Oh. Well, feel free to like pull it down and push it up under your name then, or whatever, however you want to do it.
It's okay. I think people, I mean, the people that matter about knows that we were part of the refactoring book club and did it together, and the people who don't know that don't really care.
Where is this code at again? App jobs. All right. App jobs. GitHub README file. All right, let's take a look at the. So this is what it looked like before. Let me make this larger so it's about the same size. Do a side-by-side comparison, take a picture and send it off to, I don't know, send it off to, send it off somewhere, get an award for it. How can I get rid of this? Go away, collapse. No, that's not what I want. Let's go. Oh, I think if I click on there we go. All right. Let's take a look at our work here. So, so this is what we have now. We got 3 methods. So this is where it was before. And this is what we have now. So we try to read this, project readme content, blah, blah. Doc.search tags, keys, join, each, do, node, Europrem. Yeah. Anyway, you can see here, unless href empty or href.match some regex there. I have no idea what this means. First time we went through it, we didn't know what a lot of this meant. Some of it was pretty easy. Like this here was pretty easy to understand, and then some of this up here was kind of difficult to understand. But now if we look at it, it looks like it's probably, let's see, we got line 27 to line 45, and here we have line 27 to line 43. But it is shorter because we got a lot of spaces in here. We got 3 different methods now. So I think, yeah, it's definitely shorter.
Yeah.
So, and it's a lot more easier to read.
Mm-hmm.
So
it does away with unless ends and
yeah,
like nested ifs inside of unlesses.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You don't want your code to look like this U or V here, right? You don't want it to go like this.
I mean, it depends what your goal is. If you're like trying to confuse like new developers, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So in here, our code is nice and straight. Like, boom, there's only one indent. That's like awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we did a good job. You know. So great
great
job, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna head off, and I'm gonna meet up with Joseph.
I heard you're pairing with this cool guy, Joseph.
Joseph, yeah. He's gonna teach me JavaScript.
Oh, nice.
No, I thought you were the experts.
I know JavaScript. I just don't use it that often. So, I don't know JavaScript. I know a little bit about it.
I use it a lot, but not for gaming. So.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna head out. I'll see you in a minute, Joseph. Cool. Thanks, Seth. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thank you. Seth, do you want to push it up? I think, or do you want to talk about like